Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jazz 313. Jump right into this right here. Today we're talking about generational trauma. Some religious people call it generational curse. I was just thinking this is for males and females. I don't like these platforms where they be bashing each other. I'm into positive thinking and positive concepts. The number one thing, when you have a baby with somebody, remember it's 23 chromosomes from the mother and the father. It's a thing they call phenotypes, karyotypes, genotypes. We can get into that a little bit more. But what I want to talk about some things that are affecting our race and America in whole. The reason why we have so much dysfunction, some of this behavior is generational trauma that's passed down from your mother, from your aunt, from your father, from your family's lifestyle. And I'm not judging, it's just a concern. Some of the bad habits I learned them from my parents, just not through their words, just through their actions. I can remember we used to play tonk. That's a typical card game in the African American neighborhood with some people's parents. They was really letting us know it's okay to gamble because they was gambling with us when we was minors. So you look at what happened to Atlantic City, what's happening with Detroit. Gambling is destroying the neighborhood. When you look at some men, including myself, who could not control his penis at certain times because that's what I saw. You know, I saw the some people who was hypocritic, and some people who was just blunt like my father. You know, a lot of people in marriages, I know, you know, I don't really get into the marriage, but you know, I believe a commitment is a commitment. I didn't do like it should have been. But my point is, some of us see our parents in a relationship where they sleep in a separate bed, separate rooms, stand together for 30 years. I don't think God wants you to be miserable, but you know, to each his own. When I look at Will and Jada, why be married if you're not gonna love on each other? Why stay in a relationship when you're not really happy? But anyway, let me get into this trauma. It can be money trauma. When I say money trauma, it can be, some people are just in a perpetual cycle of just brokenness. They've been broke since they was 22, 32, 42, 52. Ever since I know them, they just been broke. Because they were not taught that financial acumen from home. The difference between a Rockefeller or a Ford, these people understand trust funds, understand passing money. Sometimes if you're the person in your family who have outgrown your family, that don't mean leave them, but you got to elevate those who want to be elevated. Some of us want to stay in a dire strait, want to be always struggling. The next one I want to talk about, we're talking about traumas, conduct. Some people, I've seen families where everybody go to college. I've seen families where everybody go to jail. In my life, I don't want to say anybody's names, but when you see your family have drugs, you know, some people use drugs. Their mother give them drugs. They smoke weed with their mother. They drink with their mother. Remember, as parents, we have to model positive behavior because these babies come in as tabula rasa, as a blank slate. Our job is to give them the best life and the best advantage to live, not continue to pass down this generational trauma. And I know someone in Exodus, I remember a preacher would always talk about generational curses. I don't believe in superstition, and I don't believe in curses, but I can use the word trauma as a substitute. And, you know, I'm not a licensed pastor. I do believe in the word. I live by the word. But some of the stuff we pass on to our kids, sexual abuse, mental abuse, I guess they call it domestic abuse. Some guys seen their father slap their mother, or some girls want to get beat up. That's why they like the Pookie and Ray Rays. They seen their mother get disrespected, so that become their norm. When you treat them right, I've had people in my life, particularly women, the meaner I treat them, the nicer they were. That's not my personality to be mean, but some of them, they interpret that as being masculine. I have one of my neighbors, just a really good friend of mine, in jail for drinking and driving. He's getting ready to do a 15-year bit, but he told me something. 80% of the men are in jail over a woman. That's either going to protect the woman because that's our nature, or killing somebody to protect our sisters or our cousins. Ladies, if you like drama, you have to sit back and think, where did I learn this? It's like it used to be a ghetto song, I get it from my mama. And you can say the same thing, I get it from my daddy. It's time for us to be real and recognize some of the ravages that have happened in America, and particularly in Black America. I was reading a quote that I'd never seen as much as I read. Dr. King said, I have integrated, he was telling his wife, my people into a house that's burning. We have to understand all gifts are not good gifts. Everything from the time they came on Plymouth Rock, when they gave the Indians the blankets with smallpox, when you look at what they just did to the Ochi Indians out in, I think it was Oklahoma, for that oil with that new moon by Leonardo Calaprio, I can't pronounce his name. But I saw that movie, 3-hour movie, and it was a great movie. When you look at some of this evil that has been passed down, and you look at 1960s with the welfare. The welfare replaced a generation of our women telling them you don't need men. A lot of these girls we are out of order. I've lived in Cairo, Egypt. I lived in Milan, Italy. I lived in New York. When I say live, over 6 months. You don't never see a woman running around in Italy talking about she the boss chick. In Aswan, Artie Symbol, the man that tried run that whole hookup. When you get to this country, particularly in the Black American community, you got to realize these traps. They gave our women welfare, and that moved us out. And that's why our community is just traumatized. Then they bring crack in here in the 80s. That just really, that was like the home run, the grand slam home run. But we have to quit making excuses. We got to be better to do better and to know better. We got to get rid of this trauma. We have a lot of trauma in our neighborhoods. We're talking about gambling. And then we're talking about, they call it shade or throwing salt. Some people are just jealous. I tell people there's two things that work 24 hours. It's gravity. Gravity and God is always working in common. But gravity is always moving. When you are around a vibration that's a low vibration, and you know that family and that person just always want to talk negative, and they're taught to talk down on people, you have to extract yourself from that situation. And even in your family, these curses, we must break these traumas. I'm trying to get rid of the word curses because I don't believe in that. I want to talk about the traumas. And it's a thing with the ladies, when you're looking at a guy, or guys, when we're looking at those little big butts, we got to look at genotype, phenotype, karyotype. Phenotype, outward appearance. Genotype, does this girl have sickle cell? Does this girl have scoliosis? Does these people have lupus? I know when we out there boogie woogieing and trying to get something, we ain't looking at all that, but we got to go a little bit deeper because we got to break. We got a job to do. I don't have that much time here. I want to uplift America, uplift Black America, uplift everybody. But in our particular place, we've been here for 400 years. We have a lot of trauma that we have been bringing on, like some of this slave food. I know people love it, want to eat pasta. That's why we have so much diabetes. I was talking to a man the other day in Crows, a young boy. He said he never met a guy over 62. I said, wow. In his family. I said, why? He said, y'all died diabetes. I told the guy, I'm 62. I can still dunk. I can't do like I used to do. But I still play basketball. I still walk. But some of this food trauma is passed down. Grandma ate chitlins with a bunch of hot sauce, a bunch of salt and salt pork. So she didn't know any better. But if you know better, it's time for you. Wherever you at, it's like one of my favorite, Booker T. Washington, cast your bucket where you at, lift yourself up, rise the whole ship. Let's rise up together, not rise up. Let's rise up to be positive, have strong families, vibrant families. When I sit back and think about the parasites, I was just thinking, you'll never hear a Jewish woman, or they call it a mother-in-law, borrowing from her son-in-law. That's unheard of. And then you see that woman, the reason why I'm talking about I'm a boss chick or I'm the prize, because they've been taught that their vagina, that's all it is. Like I say, is your vagina an ATM? Is your vagina an ATM? Let's break that ATM trauma, that ATM vagina trauma. That's what you've been taught by your mother, that your pussy is nothing but a bank. You're more than that. You bring forth life. Don't be a whore. Don't be a slut. Man, don't be a John. Don't be a trick. My father is a former pimp, and I hate to even say this. He told me this here. A trick deserves to be whole. No, a trick deserves to be tricked, and a hoe deserves to be pimped. I mean, he telling me this, and I'm thinking this. I don't know. That's some more of that trauma. That's why I have effed a lot of girls. I ain't made love to a lot of them because I ain't really seen nobody make love to. I saw it was a transaction. Transactional. Some of these women get with men because you see the cars, you see all the glamour. You don't realize it's like the turtle. It's slow and steady. Let's break some of these traumas. Let's dwell into them. Let's go get some help. Let's talk about them. Let's be honest. Let's don't walk around acting like, because you know, church is nothing but another club too. That's why churches, I don't want to talk about them. There's some good churches here. But my point is, they are social organizations. They're no better than a fraternity house or a Mason lounge or a sorority house. I mean, we have trauma. And we want to walk around like our fart no stink. We want to walk around like we're perfect. Let me tell you first, I am the most flawed individual on earth. I'll tell you that up front. And I can deal with my traumas. I know my traumas. You know, I like to hang out. I was taught to run the streets. I saw my parents run the street. And that's something that I gave my kids. I'm not proud of that. But it is what it is. I'm learning. I'm dealing with that. Now I'm learning how to slow down. Now I'm learning how to smell the roses. I'm learning how to travel and enjoy, not trying to do everything. We have to come to reality, come to a home of reckoning. Some of this is therapeutic for me to have this platform, to grow this platform. This is Jazz 313. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe, please click and share. Remember, dealing with trauma, your vagina is not an ATM, episode 4, trauma. Thank you.